How 2026 is a repeat of 1942 calendar-wise. And a lot of people actually went and checked their calendar and they discovered that it was true. That 2026 is actually a repeat of 1942. The day, the date alignment, the month to month structure. 2026 started on Thursday, the 1st of January. 2042 started on Thursday, the 1st of January. Pattern recognition is the highest form of intelligence. Please write that down. Pattern recognition, highest form of intelligence. Pattern recognition is the highest form of intelligence. So life is not rocket science. You just have to study the patterns and recognize the similarities, the common traits. If this happened repeatedly, and these then carry the same energetic blueprint when compared with that one, most likely similar things would happen, probably in different dimensions. So the energetic flow of 1942 is mirrored in 2026. Not so take note of this. Not the events themselves, is the energetic flow, not the event. The vibrational patterns of emergence, disruption, shift, destiny confrontation, protest, rebellion, war, is repeating itself. Universal year one. What did I say? Universal year one is a very masculine year. So one in numerology is a masculine year. And what did I tell you in 2025? I said people will start displaying, they will start showing off power, aggression. That's what's happening globally. Remember, we said globally, there will be aggression. Men love chaos a lot. So you see, Iran, US, China, now other countries are getting involved. There is a show of force. That's a masculine energy. That's the masculine energy of, and you haven't seen anything yet in 2025, 2026 rather. So we said that 2026 is based on the calendar similarities and energetic patterns between 2026 and 1942. We said that 1942 was a year of global destiny rerouting. Go check the events that took place. It was a year of global destiny rerouting. It was a year of intense movement. It was a year of war, strategy, power shift. New alliances were formed in 1942. Structures, the existing structures at that time were collapsing. Bold rise. The unprepared disappear. And you can juxtapose that with what is happening right now in 2026. US thought it was going to be 5 days of aggression in Iran. But see what they are going through now. There are speculations right now that Benjamin Netanyahu has passed. There are speculations right now that he has passed on. Iran is hitting them hard now because times are changing. Right. Now, Iran is saying we are going to give access to some crude transaction at the Strait of Hormuz. What do they call it? The Strait of Hormuz, right? But it's going to be in yuan, not dollars. So you see, bold moves, bold rise. The only continent that is always carrying last is Africa. Because rather than go for pattern recognition, we are prayer warriors. Let me not go there to that prayer warrior thing this morning so I can focus on the lecture. Fire horse years, the years 1906. See, go and study these years. And then spirituality is applied intelligence, not spookiness. Spirituality is applied intelligence. Don't be on the dumb charlatan side of the awakening. I am river water, I am child water, I am animal spirit, I am this. But they can't prove intelligence, no applied intelligence, no structure, no practicality, no emotional stability. But they are water child, they are fire child, they are this, they are snake, they are. Spirituality is pattern recognition. That's what it is. That's why I find it very hard to collaborate with a lot of people on social media, because this no intelligence, no spiritual intelligence, just spookiness and drama. I am water this, I am snake, I have snake under these things I've built. No, come on, nobody cares about all that. And that's why the same religion that you left, they are laughing at you. Because with all this, I'm awakening, we still haven't started commanding commensurate results that are commensurate with our claims. Fire horse years, 1906, 1966, 2026. In Yoruba cosmology, you have the Ogun, the Shango year, the year of steel and fire. I told you all this in 2025. Listen, guys, I want to remain very simple in my life. I want to live a life of simplicity. That's the only reason why I don't, you know, brand some things as special. Some other people, everything they said last year is coming to pass. They would have, yes, I am prophet this. If I want to chop your money, if I want to start chopping people's money, I know what to do, because I understand pattern recognition, accurate pattern recognition. Professor Yuan in China, that is in Beijing, the very popular man. How many of you know Professor? Is it Professor Yuan? The Chinese man that does predictive history. Have you seen his video? That is what he is doing. Pattern recognition, not prophecy. Pattern recognition. That's what he is doing. The spirit of science, the science of the spirit. Simple as ABC. So you know that if this happened at a particular time, repeatedly, it has formed a pattern. There is the dominant frequency. Okay, now, does it look like it's going to happen again in another dimension? And you are able to predict whatever the outcome of the event will then be. We have a lot to do this morning, but after this session, your mind will be blown away. Like, what the heck? What nobody is telling you about numerology, I want to tell you this morning. Because numerology itself is about pattern recognition. It's not about delusions and spookiness and drama. We have only had 3 fire horse years in the last 120 years. And they were 1906, 1966, and 20. The 4th one is what we are going through now, 2026, is usually the beginning of a new paradigm. Revolution. I'm repeating all these things. I said these things in November, December, and I'm repeating them. Revolution. Let me reduce the volume of this. Rebellion. Rebellion. This year started with protests everywhere. In Europe, in America, in Africa, Tanzania. Rebellion. Unpredictable leaps. And let's see, what you are meant to do with all this information is to integrate them into your personal life. This year, you are going to see how I'm going to go global. Me, Femi, Jubal. The global relevance I'm going to have this year. And it's not going to be a shock, because I have integrated the patterns. The patterns I've recognized when it comes to the global system, and I've, integrated that into my personal life. And there's a lot of similarities based on the trajectory of my life. That's why you need the Bible of Numerology. Some of you have not gotten the book, the Bible of Numerology. We are not studying these things to prove any point to anybody. And all this, we are awakening, no result, no intelligence, no structure, no. We are doing these things to produce commensurate results, because the world does not care what you know. The world will always care about the knowledge that you have applied. Applied intelligence. Applied intelligence. Destruction of weak structures. America is not aware how weak it has become. Hey, they thought they were just going to invade Iran. They said this is a 5 days event. Operation something fire, erupt something fire. 5 days we are done. As they done now. Are they? Because America is weak, but America doesn't know that it is weak. And 2026 is the destruction of weak structures. So if you are a person and you are weak, get ready for something that will shake you. Explosion of innovation. Leaders who are uncontrollable. These were the analysis of 2026, the predictions in 2025. And there are a lot of predictions about Nigeria that I also put together. But there are some things I can't say because this is a very lawless country. No respect for human rights. So I can't say some things, but those who are close to me have told them, you are going to see some things between 2026 and 2027. It's not a prophecy. I always like to emphasize that. It's not a prophecy. These are stuff that you can also have access to this. There's going to be a disruption in the electoral process in Nigeria. And it will change everything. In 1999, we had Nigeria's first coup. In 1999, we had Nigerians. 1960 rather. We had Nigeria's first coup, similar to change of government in 1999. I'm not insinuating anything. They had the Cultural Revolution in China. That's what happened. In China, there was Cultural Revolution in 1966, the Fire Horse year. In 1966, the Fire Horse year in Nigeria, the first coup took place. And in 1999, it repeated. Look at it. 1966, there was the first coup in Nigeria. 1999, change of government. From what? Military to what? To civilian. So you see the pattern recognition now. In China, there was a mass upheaval. Revolution in China. The Chinese revolution has now metamorphosed into something. This is now technological revolution going on in China right now. China, that used to be one of the third world countries, worse than Nigeria, has now been so revolutionized that it is one of the decision makers at the global stage, guys. Pattern recognition. And for those who are always these intellectual wannabes, atheist wannabes that are always saying numerology is trash, astrology is trash, your life is not better than the nation of China. So I can't listen to you. Between you and China, whose life is better? China. So I was listening to China because the world would always respect results more than cho. Area. Nobody gives a damn about anybody's intelligence that doesn't produce any results. Nobody cares. The start of the modern feminist wave in 1966. Civil rights expansion. Remember the Martin Luther King. Remember the Malcolm X. They already died that period. Then you had, what's their name again? There was this Black Panthers. Now became so relevant. There was civil rights expansion. Reverend Jesse Jackson, who just passed this year, the space race acceleration. People were competing. Who's going to go to the moon? Who's going to go to here? Everybody fooling themselves. Music and art revolution. So you had the James Brown, the Hendrix, you had the Fela Kuti rising. So it's not a surprise this year when there was the Wizkid and the Fela situation. So you see, pattern recognition. Fela started rising from 1966 thereabout upward, and this year, another fire horse. Wizkid started saying it's better than Fela Kuti. It's pattern recognition. That's what it is. The spiritual world is a scientific and technological world. It runs on algorithms and sequence, Fibonacci sequence, all manner of sequences. When you understand it, life is not rocket science. Life is not rocket science. Social revolution. New cultural order. Listen, one of the things I told you last year, I said that there are people who were nobodies. And from 2026, you're going to see how you're going to rise to a place of influence. Just watch. In your sector, you're going to rise to a place of influence. It's going to be magical. Everything I'm saying, I said it in 2025. So it's not like this is the first time I'm saying these things. New world orders. See, Iran that they thought was going to crash. Now Iran is now saying, we won't let you get the oil. If you want the oil, you have to buy it in yuan. New world orders. New economies, new industries, new inventions. Personal destiny resets. This is the time for you to position yourself for a personal destiny. This is not the time for you to be loyal to a personality cult. All this, somebody is the one leading something and then you are 100% subject to that person. It's not going to pay you. You are going to lose your individuality. What did I say last year? I said 2026 is the year of the individual. Is the year of you. 2026 is what? The year of more of you and less of anything else. That's what I said. It's a masculine year. It's a 1 year. The year of leaders emerging. The year of new karmic cycles. For families, for nations. Look at Israel. They are bombing Israel now. Like, look at what Israel has done to Palestine for years. Now they are hitting Israel hard. Massive migrations. Hasn't that started happening? And we said all this in 2026, guys. In 2025. Now they are happening. Are they not happening? Wow. Now, let's continue. Today we are looking at, so that you can understand that light is the offspring of darkness. Light would always come from darkness. Light doesn't come from any other thing except from darkness. So when you see chaos, when you see darkness, it's because light is about to shine. I am God. I am light, but I dwell in darkness. So when you see God, God is a product of darkness. God emerges from darkness. Good emerges from the dark. Darkness is the mother of creation, the black mother. Black is the mother of all colors. You have to embrace darkness. That's why in this season, 2026, understand that in the midst of this crisis, there are opportunities for you to make the best of your life. So if you are thinking money, you are thinking influence, you are thinking wealth, you have to understand and gain mastery over the art of darkness. They've taught you to be afraid of darkness. The word was dark and void, and the Spirit of God was hovering over it. And God said, let there be. So first, there was darkness before light. Listen, there will always be darkness first before there can be light. We talked about that on Friday. How many of you were here on Friday? We said 0 is the number of the mother. 0 is the womb of creation. The numerology 1 to 9 are the offsprings of 0. Universal egg theory. the place of void, ground zero. So the moment, one of the most powerful places to be on earth in your life is when you have reached ground zero. If you are here and you have reached ground zero, you are in a very, very strategic and powerful place in your life. That's the point of the highest form of creativity and energy. Because the possibilities that exist when you are in ground zero, they are infinite. Because you know, you can calculate what one is. One is one, right? You can quantify one. You can quantify two. You can quantify three, four, five, six, seven, eight, nine. But you can't quantify zero. You don't know what zero can become. You don't know the possibilities locked up inside zero. It is the womb of creation. It is the womb of creation. So if you are thinking money in 2026 to 2034, you have to start thinking, how do I alchemize the chaos around me? How do I maximize the opportunities of a lifetime in the lifetime of the opportunities? How do I take advantage? How do I take advantage of the loopholes in my country? How do I see if there is a back door to a place and I break the back door and enter through the back door? That's it, guys. That's it. Are you with me? Now let's look at something very important. Your numerology and your money. Your numerology and your money. Your numerology and your money. You've heard about your day of birth number, right? You've heard about your month of birth number. They've told you about your life path number. Okay? They've told you about your personality number. They've told you about your soul urge number. But there's a number that is hardly spoken about and is not emphasized. And if you understand that number, it's going to become the instrument, the weapon, the tool that you will use to gain relevance and influence. Relevance and influence in your life. Now, let's do something, guys. We're going to start this way. I need somebody's date of birth. Someone's date of birth. Just one person. You know, they always say too much of everything is bad. Too much gadgets. What if you want to run mad? The first one. April 3rd, 1984. Okay, so April 3rd, 1984. Okay, let's look at that. April 3rd, 3, 4, 1984. I'm going to use this number to explain what I'm going to talk about today, right? Now, this person was born on the 3rd. Numerology is a tool to be used, not an idol to worship. Let's establish that. Say after me. Numerology is a tool to be used, not an idol to be worshipped. So nobody is giving you a new idol to worship. It's a tool that you use. Because dogmas and doctrines don't necessarily give you the tools. They give you hope. The best organized religion can offer you is hope. Spirit science will give you tools and strategies. That's it. Because from the perspective of religion, if they ask you, who are you? I am blessed. I am a holy nation. I'm the head. I'm not the tail. I am chosen. I am. Everybody says the same thing, right? So that's not a tool. That's not a tailor-made strategy for you. It's generalization. Everybody believes they are the head and not the tail. Everybody believes they are chosen. Everybody believes they are blessed. Everybody believes they are living in opulence. Everybody. But when you bring it down to esoteric knowledge and the instrument of numerology, it will now give you a tool that gives more clarity that you can now start applying. That's the power of numerology. It's a tool to be used and not an idol to what? To worship. Now, having established that fact, let's go to this person's data. They were born on the third day of the month, meaning their day of birth is 3. Their month of birth is 4, meaning that is their astronumerology. I don't want to spend too much time here. Their year of birth. I want to go to your year of birth. That's what we're looking at today. Your year of birth. How you can start building influence, commanding results, generating impacts through the instrument of your year of birth. I call it your generation number. Your generation number. This is your generation number. Now, we are going to calculate this person's year of birth. Social psychology has been able to provide us with categorizations. You have the baby boomers, you have the Generation X, you have the millennials, you have the Gen Zs, you have the alphas, and we'll be able to place this person where they belong so they can begin their own research on the patterns, the characteristics, the common traits in their generation. Because you must first be able to impact your generation before you can then extend your impact beyond the spectrum of your generation to other generations. Because your generation understands your cultural language. Gen Zs may not understand my cultural language because they are not from my generation. So the first generation I am sent to, I am obligated to reach out to is my generation. It is when I have mastered the ropes of my generation, then I can now take it outside of there. Are you still with me, guys? It's called generational psychology and intelligence. What do you know about your generation? And this is the beauty of esoteric knowledge and the tool of numerology, because everybody wants to impact their generation. What is that generation? They don't have a clue. My generation shall be great. What is the generation that shall be great? They don't have a clue. So listen to this. I made this tweet today. The most powerful people in history understood generational psychology. They knew if you understand the mindset of an age group, you can influence the direction of a society. This is why politicians target demographics, age groups. Politicians target it. Corporate organizations target demographics. Research institutions target demographics. Educational institutions target demographics. Brands study generational behavior. Cultural leaders shape generational narratives. That's how powerful your generation number is. And you see, in numerology, there is something called your pinnacle cycle. How many people here know their pinnacle cycle? I need ink. How many of you here, you know the pinnacle cycle you are in? Go and get the book, My Bible of Numerology. In pinnacle cycle, it deals with the long-term challenges and opportunities you are going to be faced with during the trajectory of your life. The long-term challenges and opportunities you are going to be faced with during the trajectory at the different stages of your life. Now, this brother or sister here, their generation number then is 1984. Now, please understand this. There is the main generation. And all of these different age groups, which are also mini generations, are within the spectrum of the larger generation. Right. So this brother or sister here, their generation number, which we are going to know from the year they were born, and it will give us a clue into their generational blueprint. The energy ruling the year they were born in is 1 plus 9, 10. 10 plus 8, 18. 18 plus 4. 18 plus 4, 22. 2 plus 2. Meaning that this person was born in year 4. That's when they were born. They were born in the universal year 4. But they were born in 1984, because there are several other people who were born in universal year 4, but they are not in the same millennial category like this person. Right. Now listen to this verse of the Bible. Let's do some esoteric Bible study now, so you can understand why you must study your generation. You must study the year you were born in. You must study it. It's telling you something that can completely change your life. Now, Psalm 110 verse 1. Thank you. Psalm 110 verse 1. I'm not endorsing any religion here, but I learn from everything. So, we learn from everything. We don't throw everything away. Psalm 110 verse 1. What does it say? Verse 3 rather. Verse 3 says, now rule, though surrounded by enemies. It says, now rule, though surrounded. So you are surrounded by your enemies, but you are commanded to rule. Right? And then he went further and said, your people. Who are your people? Your people. That's what it says. Your people will freely join you. Your people will freely join you. Resplendent in holy armor. Meaning they won't just join you. They will come with their resources, with their weapons, with their tools to partner and collaborate with you. Resplendent in holy armor on the great day of your conquest. So on the day that you are winning and shining, it is your people that will join you. They won't just join you, they will support you. Join you at the fresh break of day. Join you with the vigor of their youth. Why do you think that in politics, you keep saying old people want to remain there? Because old people support old people to remain in power. Yeah, so you see, young people are not supporting young people to be in power. Old people support themselves to remain in power because generational wise, they see you as small children. Because they don't understand your cultural language. The same thing is applicable in business. in entrepreneurship, in relationship. That's why it is laughable when you see a 45-year-old man wants to date a 21-year-old girl. You are just a clown. Simple. I don't care what they are telling you. You are a clown. That's what you are. 45 looking for a 21-year-old girl to marry. You are a clown. That's a generational conflict. That's what it is. Because she will never speak your cultural language. She will never understand your language. To you, you are looking for tight punani. Even 16-year-olds these days, well, 17, 18, 19, if you know what they have done with these people, you will go pity them. Their punani is wider than the punani of 50, 55-year-old women. You think it's about that one? Let me not go there because generational conflict. And then she starts, I want to go out. Take me to this. Take me to the club. Take me to the, I want to go for Charlie Poppy concert. And you are 45 years old. You've moved on from that lifestyle. Well, she's drawing you back. And then because of that, before you know, she's looking for other small boys to go and marry your age group. Go and sit down somewhere. I don't know these men that are teaching you guys nonsense. And then they tell you, there's a certain age. Oh God, half-baked relationship expert. There is an age a woman gets to and she cannot. Biologically, infertility is more common to men than women. I hope you know that. Especially in this generation where boys eat anything they see. Many of them, this thing cannot stand until they drink one agbo, one alomo bitters, until they use drugs. This thing cannot stand. That's not the topic of discussion today. Let's focus. Focus. Yeah, focus. Nah, never seen myself around a 22-year-old girl. What am I doing with a 22-year-old girl? What are we going to do together? What are we going to talk about? I've seen 22-year-old girls who are madly in love with me, and I know I can't do anything with you. You are a baby. If I started giving birth to children early, I would have given birth to you. It can never happen between me and you. We are not speaking the same cultural language. Focus. Let's focus. Okay. Chioma, don't lose focus. Let's stay focused. So this is what it says here. Listen, your people will freely join you, resplendent in holy armor on the great day of your conquest. They will join you at the fresh break of the day. They will join you with the vigor of their youth, meaning they are going to support you because they belong to your generation. If you bring 10, 70-year-old men now, and there is a candidate running for presidential election, and the candidate is 70 years old or 65, and you bring one boy that is 40, but he claims that he is brilliant, the 10, 70-year-old men will vote for the 65-year-old man. I hope you know that. So you must first win your generation. You must win those who are in your cohorts. One of the meanings of generation is cohort. Those in your block, your age group. In your age group. In numerology for our intelligence, your year of birth is telling you something that's completely different. I hope our internet is still good. Your generation number introduces you to generational psychology and intelligence. So you see, that's why most influential figures, you know what they do? They first dominate their generation. Their goal is to first dominate their generation. Why is my internet bad here? Is he hanging here too? So the first thing, your first responsibility and obligation is to dominate your generation, to win your generation. The network is skipping, yeah, that's true. To win your generation. Network behavior. We have not even scratched the surface of what we want to talk about today. We have not scratched the surface. Can we check this one? Is it hanging? Oh, yeah. Guys, how is the internet? I don't want you to miss any part of this. How is the network? It's stable now. Okay, I think it's stable now. Yeah, it's stable now. We're good now. So understanding generational timelines is powerful because every generation develops a psychological pattern. So please understand, number one, psychological pattern. Survival strategy. World view. Every generation develops cultural language. If I'm in the midst of people who were born in my generation, we understand each other. But if I'm not, little things can be misunderstood, that can be misconstrued because we're not speaking the same. Something happened recently. That's why, this is a very, very, very perfect example. How many of you here know this Yoruba Fuji musician, Saheed Osupa? So one of the ways that people who have conquered and dominated their generation, please check the comments. Somebody is asking about the book. One of the ways people who have dominated their generation extend their impact is to collaborate with people from other generations. And not just in music now, right? It cuts across every other sector. So what did Saheed Osupa do? A young boy who is a Gen Z, who is a producer, took a sample of Saheed Osupa's song, Àìmọye àwọn ènìyàn ló ń lọ nílé ayé, àìmọye àwọn ènìyàn ló ń lọ nílé ayé, and he turned it to a trap song, trap beat. Is it trap beat, trap hip hop? And he went to Saheed Osupa, took his, you have to understand the logic behind social relevance, impact, influence. You have to learn and understand it. Because in the 21st century, attention is capital, visibility is capital. You have to focus on your intangible assets. That's where your money is in this psychozoic age of human understanding. In this age of singularity, digital age, artificial intelligence, your money is in your intangible assets. And the boy released the song and said, and the song is trending. Guess what? More people in the Gen Z generation, in the Generation Z, are now listening to Saheed Osupa. First, because Saheed Osupa was able to first dominate his generation. The problem with a lot of people, you have not conquered your own primary territory. You are putting your eyes in other generations. That's what you are doing. Recently, we had e-money. Who should be a millennial? I think e-money is a millennial. How many of you know this guy called e-money? E-money. Do you know e-money? So what did e-money do recently? E-money called Kata Efe. E-money called Kata Efe and said, I'm going to give you a car. You think he's just giving him a car? E-money wanted to break the barrier between his generation and Generation Z. So he knows that one of the gatekeepers, because every generation has a gate, they have gatekeepers. Oh, you have to level up your life so you can become one of the gatekeepers of your generation. And one of the gatekeepers of the Gen Z, the Generation Z, is Kata Efe. And Nigeria is a country that offers influence and gives attention to anybody who entertains them. We don't give that much attention to scientists or bright minds, first-class engineering students. Here it is about entertainment. Is he a skit maker? Can they make me laugh? So E-Money, as a smart guy that wants to sustain and extend his relevance, gave Kata Efe a car. The moment that happened, he bridged the gap rather between him and the Generation Z, and then called Pella. So now you would see people who are not wise. What would say? How can this man go to Pella's show? You know, people who have a degree but they are stupid. They are the ones who talk too much. They have a degree but they have nothing to show for their degree. That Pella that is not educated. How can you go and sit down on a show? You that you are educated, where is your results? And then you see men who are smart and they know that Pella is one of the gatekeepers of his generation. And for them to gain access into that generation so they can sustain their relevance intergenerationally, they collaborate. But the first thing they did was to dominate their own generation. That's what they did. Let's look at these generations, guys. We're going to start from this one. The silent generation, 1928 to 1945. Most of our parents, they are here. The silent generation. What are the historical contexts? Great Depression, aftermath. That was the aftermath of Great Depression, right? World War II. Scarcity and survival mentality. Do you know that was why many of our parents couldn't succeed? They only had scarcity and survival mentality. Go to work, wake up, work, raise children, they go to work, you grow up, you retire, you die. What are their core traits? Discipline. They were disciplined. They believed in hard work. Respect for authority. Quiet resilience. Institutional loyalty. The reason your parents will disown you because of their religion is because they were born in that generation. The parents of this generation are becoming more liberal. Yeah. But your own parents were born in the silent generation. And that silent generation had the core trait of institutional loyalty. They were loyal to institutions, religious institutions, political institutions, and all sorts of institutions. But they had patience. They had long-term thinking. Duty and responsibility. They were responsible. They had emotional restraint. But what are their weaknesses? Fear of change. They fear change. That's why only few of them were able to break even. You see this generation where the millennials, the Generation X, millennials, several people are succeeding. There are many billionaires. There are more billionaires and millionaires now than before because they don't fear change. Overconformity. Our parents and grandparents, they conform to systems and institutions. Difficulty questioning authority. They had difficulty questioning authority. Fear-mongering, thank you, was strong in their generation. A lot of your parents believe that if you didn't go to church or mosque, you may die, that God may kill you. And they injected those kind of mentality in their children. Now, the baby boomers. Now, listen, how do you take the best of that generation to power your life? What are the core traits? Discipline, respect for authority, quiet resilience, institutional loyalty, right? with intelligence. So you become intelligent about your own loyalty, not blind loyalty to institutions. Strength, patience, long-term thinking, duty and responsibility, emotional restraint. Now, what are their weaknesses? The fear of change. So you are the one in that, if you were born in that generation, you would refuse to be afraid of change. So you will be more fluid. You would refuse to conform to systems and institutions. You would question authority. So the likes of Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, Fela Anikulapo Kuti, he has a legacy today because unlike our own parents, he stood out in his generation and questioned authority. No other person did it like Fela in his generation. Now, it takes us to the baby boomers. The baby boomers. 1946 to 1964. Do we have any baby boomer here? You were born between 1946 and 1964. Do we have anyone here born between 1946 and 1964? It's almost impossible. That was the post-war economic expansion, the rise of corporations, civil rights movement. What were the core traits? Competitiveness. It was a very competitive generation. Work-centric. It was focused on work, optimistic about progress. So see, so that generation was more optimistic about progress. What were their strengths? Work ethic, institutional building. They started building institutions, leadership and management. Leadership and management. What were their weaknesses? Listen to this. Workaholism. Resistance to change. Common with the silent generation. Identity tied to status. When did they start all the Ikoyi club, this club, that club, where, if you don't have status, you can't be with us. Someone said there is an underground noise distracting. Where is your underground noise? Maybe it's from your end. Now, next one is Generation X. A lot of people are in this Generation X. 1965 to 1980. How many of you were born between 1965 and 1980? Type in the comment section. Don't be ashamed of your age. Those who are 20 today, they will be 80 in 60 years from now. Generation X, 1965 to 1980. Historical context, Cold War tensions, economic uncertainty, rise of personal computers. What were the core traits? Independent. Because Generation X is the bridge between the boomers and the millennials. Is the bridge between the boomers and the millennials. So they were skeptical. Many of the people who started the spiritual revolution you are seeing now, they are from the Generation X category. Self-reliant. What are their strengths? Adaptability, entrepreneurial thinking. So you see, a lot of the entrepreneurs that you see now, they are from that generation. Problem solving. What are the weaknesses? Cynicism. They can be very cynical. Emotional detachment. You don't even know that's why some of you are emotionally detached. Distrust of systems. Now, we're going to have a business numerology intelligence squad in April. It's going to be 4 weekends. And by May, the last weekend in May, we're going to crown it up with the official launch of the 144 Conclave. There will be a 3 hours lecture on this. So I'm just giving you bits and pieces now. Now let's go to the millennials, 1981 to 1996. How many millennials we have here? How many millennials we have here? 1981 to 1996. May you not be an uncle that will be begging your nephew for money. May you not be an aunt that will be begging your niece for money. May your life not be like that. That's the worst humiliation that can happen to anybody. May you not be an uncle that is 40. My nieces and nephews, they don't have any option than to respect and even fear me. Because I can never, rather I would give them and support them. You have to understand your generational pattern. People are oblivious and ignorant of a lot of things. And, they are the same people, they want to advise you. Have you seen those uncles or those aunts? Let me tell you something about life. Because you children of nowadays, you couldn't even fix your own life. Now suddenly you have wise counsel. You have to break that pattern. And you can do that by studying generational patterns. The millennials, 1981 to 1996, historical context, internet revolution, globalization, social media emergence. So it's a lot of people that invented the social media machines. They are actually millennials. Yeah. Because the internet revolution happened in their generation. So they saw an opportunity. So what happened in your own generation that is still relevant today that you can take advantage of? Or what is happening in this generation that you can take a hold of, conceptualize it, serve it to your generation, and when you have succeeded in dominating your generation, you can extend your influence to other generations. What are their core traits? Idealistic. Millennials are very idealistic. They are collaborative. They are identity driven. Their strength, creativity, global awareness. Because the world became a global village in their time. Adaptation to technology. What are their weaknesses that you can leverage on? Anxiety and burnout. So you see, the motivational sector grew during the time of the millennials because they suffer a lot of anxiety and burnout. So they need to be motivated, right? Delayed life milestones because there's so much competition. Overthinking. There is the 4-quadrant integration here, but we're not going to do that today. Then takes us to Generation Z. Gen Z. Which one is Gen Z? 1997 to 2012. How many Gen Zs do we have here? 1997 to 2012. How many Gen Zs? When I started, everything I've done in my life, I was not targeting, I've always targeted my generation. It is after serving my generation that I usually now have people from other generation because I check demographics. I look at the charts. Okay, what's the age group of the people watching my videos? Okay, the gender. Oh, location. I always check all of those records. So there are Gen Zs here. Smartphones, social media saturations, global instability. What are the core traits? Hyper-aware, pragmatic, digitally native. What are their strengths? Fast learning, cultural awareness, digital innovation. Listen, if you are a Gen Z, listen to what I'm about to say. Time has changed. Listen to your parents, but don't adopt every of their philosophy. If not, you will fail. You will repeat their failure. There is somebody who has not done, she has not used a degree for any, she has not used it to produce any result in her life. She's talking about masters. Because her parents said, you must go for masters. The degree that you did that they wasted millions on, you can't even get a job for yourself. The same parents are now saying, you must go for your masters. You must. And she said, I must go. Because she has collaborated with her parents to live in the past. There are Gen Alphas right now who are already millionaires. There is a 20-year-old boy in the community who is developing a game. And when he was sharing statistics of the game industry with me, I was like, am I talking to a 20-year-old boy? He was discussing the statistics of the game industry with me at 20 years old. He knows so much about his industry. If you want to destroy that boy's life, send him to one useless Nigerian university to go and study one nonsense course. Respect your parents, but learn how to say no to them. Because if you don't, you are going to replicate their failure. It's as simple as that. Some of you have no business going for any useless masters. I'm telling you the truth. The world has changed, but your parents don't know because they are living in the past. They belong, it is their own cultural language. It's different from your cultural language. Because you see what we have these days? We have children who their parents spend millions on them, private university. Because their parents still think that it is that kind of strategy that will make a child successful in life. No, times have changed. It's no more like that. There are boys who haven't stepped into the gate of any university and they are in the tech space and they are worth millions. They are in the tech space and they are worth millions. That's why the other time they were envious people and haters. They wanted to frustrate Pella. He doesn't know how to speak English. Education, no be scam. I was looking at them. The fact that you think that English speaking determines education and intelligence means you are not educated to start with. If to you, English is the test of intelligence and education, you are not an educated person. And Pella too was fooling himself, went to university. Is he still there? He has run away. Pella is not meant for university. He's an educated man. He is intelligent. A boy that could take himself from the gutters and brought himself to where he is now. He is educated. That's why he was able to do that. You, with all your degrees, nothing to show for it. Go and sit down somewhere, please. Go and sit down somewhere. You see, I always tell you that when you come to my sessions, get ready to be triggered. Get ready. The worst thing Pella can do to himself is to go to any university. If he has to get any university online, he should stay in his house and get an online degree. It's all over the place on the internet. But haters, they were putting pressure on that boy. They wanted to, because they are envious of him. Because they think that why should he be successful without a degree when I have a degree and I'm a failure? Stop that, please. It's wrong. Let's stop misleading young people. Pella does not need to go to any university. If he has to, there are online universities he can go to. But he said the first day in his university, his body was itching. He said 2 hours, I never make money. Why should he be there? Okay, let's go further. Now, how to use generational intelligence for success. This is how you do it. So the real power of this concept is strategic positioning. You have to be able to position yourself in your generation. Position yourself. Because listen, people respond better to those who speak their cultural language. Pella is speaking the cultural language of Generation Z. So they will respond to him. So if you want to speak to that generation, you must go through Pella, because Pella is the gatekeeper in that generation. And Pella won't listen to you if you have not dominated your own generation. Oh, so you see the chain reaction now. Can I have water? Warm water. Pella no go answer your call if you have not dominated your own generation. But Pella, because Pella knows that he is a gatekeeper in Generation Z. Come on, guys, man. So the first thing is you must influence your generation. Now, the person's number we have here is a millennial. So I'm sure he has learned some things from everything I've been saying. You must first influence your generation. Because listen, your generation understands a lot of things about you, your references, your struggles, your psychology. They can resonate with all of that. They can resonate with all of that. When you see the elites in Lagos organize birthday parties, even if they invite a millennial or Gen Z artist, the main artist is usually Sonny Ade, Ebenezer Obey, the musicians of their own generation, because they resonate better with them, guys. They resonate better with them. We won't be able to finish this today. There's so much, and I don't want to rush it. We have not even covered 20% of everything we need to do. And this is why most influential figures, they first dominate their own generation. Sorry, I have another camera here that I'm looking at. So it is when you have done this that you can now build cross-generational power, because you have to stay relevant in every generation. Right. So you must, so you see, that's what E-Money did with Pella and with, what's his name? Kataife. He built cross-generational power. Cubana Chief Priest is building cross-generational power with Davido. They are building cross-generational power. That's what they are doing. And the techniques are all available to you. So the rest of this month is going to be dedicated to finishing this course. So get ready. I don't want to rush today. We have spent 1 hour, up to 1 hour, 30 minutes. And I want to make sure that by 12:30, we're out of here. Okay? Now, few announcements. If you are a man here and you would like to participate in a session that is exclusively for men, can you type in the comment section? If you are a man and you would like to participate in a session that is exclusively for men, you are a man and you are above 30 years old, and you would like to participate in a session that is exclusive for men. Fantastic, fantastic. So we're going to have a session sometime next week for men from the age of 30, from 30 years old. From 30 years old. Yes, thank you, it's fine. Fantastic. Okay, so I'm encouraged now, so I'm motivated. So we're going to have the event. Now, the next thing, the 144 conclave is on. And currently we have our 12 founding council fellows. We're looking for 24 founding council fellows before the end of the month. And currently we already have 12 founding council fellows of the 144 conclave. We had a presentation on Thursday, and it was very educative. And I tell you the truth, the 144 conclave is not like any other community you've heard of. Those of you who participated in that presentation, you can testify to the fact that this is something that is explosive and transgenerational. We're also going to start something called the Universe Project. So I want to start reaching out to Gen Z and Gen Alphas. So I'm talking about people from age 13 to 25. I want to have a special group. You can be 18 and you're already a millionaire. It's very possible. Boys of 16 are now millionaires. Don't allow people who are way older than you to confuse you. They want you to repeat their errors and their mistakes. Don't allow them. Be rebellious to anybody that wants you to remain stuck in life. So it's called the Universe Project. The Universe Project. We have boys of 20 years who are talking about I'm building a game and they are sharing statistics with you. We have boys that are 18, they are developing apps and telling you about who is a founder. My tech company, I'm building. 18-year-old boy. How can I add my son? We're going to make an announcement about that very soon because I want to start having monthly summits with this age group because we cannot afford to allow them to repeat the mistakes of their fathers and their mothers. We can't afford to allow them to do that. So guys, if you are already a member of the community, can someone outside Nigeria, of course, people in the founding council, they are from different parts of the world, but you must have been somebody who is, if you're already part of the community, it makes it easier. We want to make sure that the first 24 people, the first 24 founding council fellows are people that are already part of what we are doing. When we are done with that structure, we can now move to the next category of people. So if you are interested, just send a message to the WhatsApp number 0708 222 9181. So guys, I want to say a very big thank you to you for joining the session this afternoon. Please be rest assured that this is a series and we're going to use the rest of the month to finish the series. Any other announcement I've not shared? Okay, let me tell you something. The Bible of Numerology now comes with the Bible of Numerology workbook. So the workbook is a strategic implementation manual for entrepreneurs, for business people, for leaders, for decision makers, for politicians, and etc. It's a 182-page book that helps you to use numerology as a workbook to apply it into your life, into your business especially, into your leadership journey, into your entrepreneurship journey. So anybody buying the Bible of Numerology now, they are going to have a free copy of the workbook. So thank you so much, guys, and see you on Friday for the Unfiltered. Let me quickly make another announcement. This is the last announcement. Listen. The 144 Conclave will host bi-monthly a cohort. It's called the Business Numerology Intelligence Cohort. And the first edition, if you have bought before, then you have to buy the workbook. So it's called the Business Numerology Intelligence Cohort. And the first cohort is going to be between April and May. From April 17th to May 10th. That's when the first cohort. So whether you are a member of the 144 or not, you can subscribe to the Business Numerology Intelligence Cohort. And the first edition is this, starting in the month of April. And we're going to share more announcements about that in the coming days. So thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much for attending the session, and make sure that you have an amazing, amazing, amazing week ahead. Thank you.